Hey YouTube, it's Splattertrigger here. This is going to be a video of my handheld collection. And basically when it came to handheld games, excluding the DS, all I really had were Game Boys, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. I did have a Turbo Express, but I still have yet to find that. But basically this handheld collection will just be all Game Boy games. So we're going to start off here with the Game Boy Pocket. And then the next are original Game Boy games, just carts, okay? We have Super Mario Land, Amazing Spider-Man, Ren and Stimpy, Gargoyle's Quests. I remember rather enjoyed this one when I was younger. Solar Striker, Castlevania Adventure, another copy of Castlevania Adventure, excuse me here, Castlevania 2 Belmont's Revenge, Final Fantasy Legend, which I believe in Japan was the first Secret of Mana, but my memory is very fuzzy on this, so as I keep pulling these out of the boxes in the garage. And here we go. This is the only Game Boy Color game I have. And I'm going to send out a shout out here to, I really don't know how to correctly pronounce the user's name, but it's spelled lmphk. And basically this individual is, from what I see of their videos, is a huge Mega Man fan. And I just wanted to let you know that this is Mega Man Extreme, still sealed. And now we're going to move on to the Retro Anniversary Edition of the Game Boy Advance SP. And I have to let you know that I will probably never ever get rid of this. I absolutely love this little handheld, just for nostalgic sake. I'm going to move on to Legend of Zelda, the re-release. Sealed Xavius. Sorry about the glare there. And now I'm going to continue with the Game Boy Advance here. As you probably know by now if you watch most of my videos, these are complete with instructions, box, etc. Ninja 5.0. Hopefully you watched my shout out video to this about my love for this platformer, side scroller. Awesome game. Another awesome game, Clona, Empire Dreams. Namco did a bang up job with this, and yes, the next one is the sequel, Clona Dream Champ Tournament. We're going to move on to Castlevania Circle of the Moon. This is still a sealed copy. I actually had a cart that I played on for Circle of the Moon that I traded in or gave away or sold or who the hell knows. But this Castlevania that was, basically the byproduct of Symphony of the Night, which has been continuing on ever since, which is great. This certain Castlevania, though, was my least favorite of all. I absolutely almost hated this game. I have to admit, I wasn't a big fan of it. However, Harmony of Dissonance did make up for it. Gotta love the artwork on this box too. As did Aria of Sorrow. I actually just finished beating Dawn of Sorrow and the other two DS Castlevania games, Portrait of Ruin and Order of Ecclesia, about a month and a half ago, and been pretty much chumping along. I love Castlevania. I love these side-scroller platformers. They really bring back the nostalgic feel. Remind me of when I was a kid. Kid that'll apparently never die. Metroid Zero Mission. Yet another awesome Game Boy game. Game Boy Advance. Metroid Fusion. Awesome as well. I actually liked Fusion better than the remake on Zero Mission. But if Nintendo or anybody there watches this, you need to get off your butts and make another side-scroller Metroid, 2D Metroid and whatnot. You got a great formula that works here with both these two games, and you're basically sitting around and doing nothing with it when you could be making money, because I know as sure as hell as a lot of me and a lot of other people out there will buy another 2D Metroid. Mario vs. Donkey Kong. I've yet to pick up the sequel for the DS, but one of these days I'll get my paws on it. Love that game too. Legend of Zelda Minish Cap. Love Zelda across the board. By far one of my favorite series of all time. Gotta say, the only Zelda that I played that I really didn't care too much for, I'm not saying it was a bad game, just wasn't for me, was Majora's Mask. Chiquito Advance, Kentaro's Revenge. It's a good side-scroll brawler. Kind of like Double Dragon. If I remember correctly, it wasn't all too popular, but I think I found that in a bargain bin. Metal Slug Advance. Love the Metal Slug series. Absolutely love it. Between them and Contra, you can't help yourself, you know. SNK and Neo Geo, they do a bang-up job. Breath of Fire. Golden Sun. Tactics Ogre, the Knight of Lotus. Not really a big fan of tactical strat games anymore, but Ogre Battle, Tactics Ogre, they were always cool games back in the day. Sword of Mana. I have much love for the Secret of Mana. Seiken Densetsu 2, Secret of Mana 2, whatever you want to call it. This was a pretty decent game. Sealed copy of Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. This is like Castlevania. I had, not that I hated it, I just had a cart, played that, and then ended up giving it away or traded it in or whatever. Probably still hidden in a box somewhere, but on to the shooters. Iridian 2. Phalanx. I remember this on the Super Nintendo. Pretty cool shooter. And another old school Super Nintendo shooter. R-Type 3. Look at that. Huh? They don't make them like they used to anymore. Gradius Galaxies. Shoot the core. And one of my favorite games on the Game Boy Advance, Astro Boy Omega Factor. Sure, you got Sega and Treasure. How the hell could you go wrong? Awesome game. I had so much fun with this. Another Treasure game, Advanced Guardian Heroes. It's pretty cool too. Gunstar Superheroes. I actually just found, while I was going through my boxes, 2 copies of the original for Sega. For the Sega Genesis. I love those graphics. Yeah, you can't go wrong with Treasure, people. You just can't. And finally, the only import I have, Game Boy Advance, King of Fighters EX2 Howling Blood, Asian version. Love the box art. Pretty cool 2D fighter. One of the better ones out on the Game Boy, and I believe they did eventually release it stateside. But I'm running out of time here, and I just want to let you guys know that I hope you enjoyed this video, and look forward to my other ones. Take care.